Nation, how are you guys doing? Hope is everything's okay right there. I almost forgot the microphone. How can I talk without the microphone? It's just check if everything's working well there. I believe so. Hope you guys are great. Happy Easter. Happy Easter for you all. The sound is working perfectly. It's always good to be with you. Remember, every Mondays and Fridays at 6 p.m. we're gonna be here. So I'm here back so that we can keep on talking about new subjects. It's not a very happy day, especially if you are a Catholic or if you are a human being, because Pope Francis has left us. May he rest in peace. So my condolences to all the Catholics in the world and also for his family, right? But the show must go on, as we say, and it's a pleasure to be here. Just want to say I will definitely not be able to post the video for tonight. I was supposed to have done that at 4 p.m. I'm sorry, sometimes it's gonna happen. The holidays kind of screwed up with my schedule because the videos are prepared, but they're not finished edited. So I needed to adjust a few things, but hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna make it up to you guys, and you're gonna have both the video here and also the video on the other channel, the Portuguese with Mark Saint. So if you guys are already watching and you want to step up and say hello, it's always a pleasure to see your messages. Remember, you are the people who do the show here. It's not me. I'm just here to talk to you guys, to reach out so that we can discuss Brazil and everything. So we had this bad news, the death of Pope Francis, who had been sick for a while. But we also have good news. Brazil is world champion in ping pong. How incredible is this? Brazil is world champion on table tennis. Hugo Calderano is the name of the player. He was amazing. He got first prize. He beat one Chinese guy. I don't remember the name in the finals. But what is impressive about this achievement? First of all, to see the Brazilian flag going up among so many, I think there were 3 other Chinese flags, because third place, I think it's 2 guys. Second and the third places were Chinese people. So there were 3 Chinese flags and 1 Brazilian, of course, in the highest position. But incredible. I've been told it's almost impossible to beat the Chinese guys, and Hugo Calderano was able to do that. So congratulations, Hugo. You are so young. You have a very brilliant career ahead. I was looking, guys. He was 5th on the ranking of the best table tennis players. After this victory, the world champion, you can say, okay, he got first place. No, he got 4th. He improved just 1 position, just for you to understand how outstanding this achievement has been. Guys, outstanding. I have seen some very interesting comparisons, especially for a country that venerates soccer like we do. So the sports analysts and specialists were saying that it's like if China formed a national team, a soccer team, and went to, first of all, classified to the, or was classified to the World Cup, right? Was approved to play for the World Cup, and arrived in the World Cup and beat all the major squads or the major teams, beating each and every single one of them. How possible is this? China doesn't have this background, this history with the soccer. So it's exactly what just happened to us. A Brazilian table tennis player beats Chinese players in the final or in the finals of the competition and becomes the world player. So Hugo Calderano, congratulations, you deserve it. I have seen some videos about his abilities. I like table tennis, but I don't follow that very much. I'm gonna say even his name was a surprise for me. Too bad, I have to confess that. But I was looking at some old videos that he got. Man, the guy is amazing playing table tennis. He has just these moves and these abilities. No wonder he got first prize in this competition. So congratulations. Another thing I want to say, guys, remember to visit Portuguese with Mark Saint, okay? It's very important that you do this, that you help us there as well. We are growing a little bit, but I think we have more potential to have more subscribers. Just take a look at the videos. I've been giving my best in order to produce them, bringing you knowledge. If you guys want to learn a little bit about the Brazilian Portuguese with me, just go check the videos out. And if you are interested in enrolling yourselves into a course, remember I'm an author. I have created my own Brazilian Portuguese course. So there are 5 books for the course, written by myself, produced by myself, audios, everything were produced by myself. And another great news, guys, I want to share that with you. Last Saturday, I was finally able to finish the whole thing. I had already written the books, but I was still working, using artificial intelligence to work on the audios and of all conversations. And I'm so glad to say that to you. Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying, but this journey started mid 2019 with the production of the medical books. I have written books to teach Brazilians that are part of the health area here in São Paulo, in Brazil, that are doctors, that are students of medicine. So I have created my own medical English course to teach people English using medical words, using medical context. And then, this was during the pandemic. And then, when I saw that the books were good, I ended up producing other 5 books to teach American English to Brazilians. And it was really good. And in this meantime, I received a suggestion from one of my subscribers here from England. He wanted me to teach him the Brazilian Portuguese. And I said, man, I never thought about it. Teaching Brazilian Portuguese for me was something far away. I never thought of doing the inverse process, you know. But then I said, okay, why not? But I'm gonna produce books. If I'm gonna sit down and teach you the Brazilian Portuguese, it has to be with my own methodology, because I don't believe the methodologies that I see around anymore. I sound cocky, but I have a lot of experience in the area, so I don't believe the way that languages are taught in Brazil anymore. So I ended up developing my own methods. I used a little of Bruce Lee. I got like a cauldron, right, or a pot, and I put a little Bruce Lee. I put a little polyglots, and I made a mix, and I ended up creating my own methodology to teach languages. It's been working beautifully with the Americans who take classes with me to learn the Brazilian Portuguese. 1 year, the guys are communicating really well. So it's just incredible, just incredible. The idea of the course was to use the same techniques that I use with the others. So guys, fast forward to 2025, we're talking about 5.5 years, and I was finally able to finish the whole work with the books. So I will have more time to dedicate to the channel, produce more videos, be doing more YouTube shorts. So keep an eye, because I'll be producing also many shorts based on the things that I've already taught you guys, things that are include documents, investments, and so on. Right, Baldini, how are you, man? Hi, Mark. Yes, that's huge news. Chinese losing table tennis. Can you believe it? I saw, Baldini, a report about this, and the guy was saying that in the whole history, I think table tennis championship started back in 1970, 73, something like that, 57. Don't remember exactly, but it's something like around this, okay? And from all the competitions that existed, I think more than 70% or much more than that have been won by the Chinese. So very few foreigners have been able to win the competition, I guess. There was a German guy, an American, if I'm not mistaken, a Japanese, and the rest, and now the Hugo Calderano, the Brazilian. But other than that, not many people have been able to do that. It's like climbing up the Mount Everest. You know, very few have done this because it's a tremendous achievement in this area. You know, this sport. This sport is so very much dominated by the Chinese. So incredible. I think people were accustomed to losing to the Chinese in the finals. You know. And this Brazilian guy, so young, was able to nail it. Amazing. So we're also at the end of a long holiday here in Brazil. It's the fourth day of holiday because it started on Friday. So the day is still very calm. I was supposed to go out and make some vlogs that I wanted to do, and I've already told you this, but it didn't work. I intend to do that as soon as possible. I still have a lot of material for this week. Just so you know, I'm working on a video to show the Brazilian participation in World War II. Very interesting video, not because it's mine and because I'm producing it, but guys, while I was reading about it to write the script, oh my God, it's so amazing. And it's such a shame the fact that this happened. We had the Brazilian participation in the war, fighting for an ideal, and not many people know about this. Not even Brazilians, I would say. I would say very few people know about the Brazilian participation in this war alongside the Allies. So my video is to bring light to this, to bring this information for you guys. So it might come out tomorrow, hopefully. If not tomorrow, because I have a lot of footage, sorry. I have a lot of footage that I need to put in the video because I'm talking about World War. So I need to find the right pieces to put there, and it's a lot of work. You guys have no idea. But as soon as I'm done, I'm going to post it, so keep an eye on the channel. Also, I intend to post another video this week about Brasilia. Brasilia is our capital, and Brasilia was projected. It was in the Constitution from the very first beginning, even when Rio was the capital. So it just came out around the 1950 something. So I'm gonna talk about this in one of the videos as well. It's a very interesting video because you can understand a lot about our culture and the way things work in here, right? There's a movie about it also, right? Some soldiers fly to Italy or something. Yes, very good. I don't remember the movie. I really would like to check this because I don't remember. But yes, it was in Italy. Monte Castello is the name of the place. Fantastic. I'm going to say, when I was reading, man, it gave me the goosebumps. I know when I talk about this country with so much passion that I get involved in everything, but the bravery, because I had to read in many sources, right? Remember, I'm always careful about what I'm going to be teaching you here. So I was a little preoccupied to be reading from the wrong source and suddenly be biased. But no, I saw Many people saying the same thing, how the Brazilians, even though they had very little or very poor equipment at the beginning, they had the support of the United States in terms of weapons, of course. But they didn't have the proper training, but they went and they showed their bravery and they fought and they faced the German and some battalions, and they were able to take over the battle in that specific front. And it was incredible. The a whole battalion just surrendered to the Brazilians, and they were I'm not gonna spoil the video for you guys, but they were impressed that the flag, it was not what they were expecting. They expected to see an American flag, a British, a French one, a Soviet one, a Chinese, and they saw a Brazilian flag, so they were like, what are you guys doing here, you know? So it's a very interesting story. I try to condensate the information as much as I could, but it ended up having about 25, 26 minutes, which is not bad, right? I've had longer videos than that, but really fast-paced, okay? Because I'm telling you everything and showing you the images, and it's going and going and going. You need to keep track of everything that is happening. For the Portuguese with Mark Saint channel, we're going to have a video about the Brazilian slang. So if you guys are studying Brazilian Portuguese on your own, or if you have your own course, or if you're not studying anywhere but you would like to, I think you should watch this video, because it's going to give you some interesting expressions on how we communicate, the things that we say for specific situations. So don't miss out, okay? Make sure you have subscribed there. Travel Tales. Thank you, Mark, for the Carnival Guide. It was very helpful during my 3 weeks to stay in Brazil last month. I visited São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Fortaleza. Woohoo! Thank you, Travel Tales. Guys, what is he talking about? I have produced, my wife and I have produced a travel guide for foreigners to come to Brazil, learning directly from Brazilians who know the hacks and everything. For example, what to wear, what not to wear, where to be careful, where to go, what to do, what to say, what to drink. We have given as many details. It's not perfect, but we have given as many details as we could. And we can see Travel Tales saying that it worked for him. He came to Brazil to 3 places, São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Fortaleza, and he had an amazing experience. Thank you, Travel Tales, for sharing that with us. What is the link to your Portuguese channel? I want to learn Portuguese because I plan on spending more time. Very nice, man. The link, let me see if I can copy right here. I'm using another account here on the chat, but it's me, okay, guys, from my American English school. So, Portuguese with Mark Saint. Guys, make sure you help me there. Even though you don't want to learn the Brazilian Portuguese, just help me with the numbers, guys. It doesn't cost anything. You click on subscribe and the job is done, right? I'm not going to bother you anymore. Just help me on this. I'm trying to make things work well for us here, for me to be able to produce content, because, you know, we YouTubers at the beginning, we depend on you guys. I think ever, it's not only at the beginning, but what I mean is, mostly it's not our profession. We have other things to do. So when you guys contribute with things that, even if you don't have to pay anything, you click on the like button, you subscribe, you write a comment, it goes a long way for us to keep producing, because we can see results coming from here, right? At the beginning, it's a very lonely journey. So I depend on you guys very much. I'm going to post the link here in the group. Oh, thank you very much. I have the best subscribers, really. Thank you very much, Soggy Button Hillbilly. Thank you very much. Interesting. Thank you very much for the link. Yes, or you just go and you type Portuguese with Mark Saint, but my friend here has posted a link for me much faster than I did, so thank you very much. It means the world when you guys interact with me like that. So I'm just gonna say, finishing about the ebook. So my wife and I have also created another ebook, but this one gives you general ideas or general tips about Brazil. I'm just gonna ask you guys a few more days um, of patience in terms of this material, because I have already received the messages from other people asking me, how about that other ebook that you said and everything? I'm still working on the platform that I use, which is Hotmart, to have more and more material. So it's not gonna be the only book. I will also be creating, or how can I say that, transferring the regular Brazilian Portuguese course that I have here, because I teaching myself, so in person I go online and I teach the students, but I will be able to offer you guys another situation, which is the digital course that you won't have a teacher. You will have me on the backstage, of course, but you won't have a teacher. It will be fast. It will be self-paced. So we'll be able to have this class 2 o'clock in the morning, because you're going to have the videos and the exercises. So if you are a self-learner, it's a wonderful guide for you, even if you're not, because the videos will be telling you what you have to do. The exercises will be there, the practice. So the methodology will basically be the same one that I'm using, but the only difference is that when the students come to have class with me, nowadays they have classes with me directly. So we go on Zoom and we have classes online and we talk about everything, right? But this one, in this format, will be digital. So that's why I'm not gonna send you the link right now, because I'm still making modifications. Pretty soon I will just work on the ebooks for you guys to be able to access them. But as I'm working on the other one, I'm still figuring a few things out. So pretty soon I'm gonna be talking about it. Okay? Just to remind you guys, this is your space for you to ask me questions. We are here every Mondays and Fridays at 6 p.m. Ask your question here. Let's debate Brazil. Let's talk about the country and the culture and the channel and everything you guys want to ask me. If you guys want to send a super chat, it's very welcome. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, I'm here. Okay? Thank you very much. In the meantime, as I always do, I want to share the news of what's going on in Brazil, for us to have some topics for conversation. Basically, what we see on the news, on the headlines, is what you guys might be seeing as well, which is the death or the passing of Pope Francis. Remember, Brazil is half Catholic, I would say, or a little more than that. Probably 60 or 70, I think 60%, 65. It's Catholic dominant, okay? The other one is evangelicals. But the headlines will just be talking about the passing of Pope Francis, which I don't know if you guys knew, was from Argentina, our neighboring country here. And but that's all. We basically are having a very calm weekend, because people were traveling during these 4 days. Remember, it started on Friday. So nothing much has been going on in Brazil. Basically just a holiday. I can only say, if it might be interesting for you guys, that the weather has changed. We are a tropical country. Remember, we can't define, July is normally cold. No, there are days in July that are hot, that you have sunny days. So this is the advantage of Brazil. I think the seasons are not very established, especially because of global warming as well. But the weather is changing now. So we are in April, and here in São Paulo, you can see a very chilly weather. Like, all the windows in my house had to be closed because you know, that chilly sensation. Oh my God. It's not that cold, but it's bothering. So if you guys are coming to Brazil, remember, you might go through this. For the people who traveled, might have been complicated, you know. The people who went to the beach got bad weather. Yes, guys. 7 out of 10 headlines are about Pope Francis. I'm not saying it shouldn't, but just to let you know, we don't have much to be talking in terms of what's happening in Brazil today. Campeonato Brasileiro is going right now. You know, Campeonato Brasileiro is having a lot of games. Let me change the. I'm gonna change the source here for to see if we find anything different from the news that we are having. So normally go to Estadão. Oh, it's still about the videos. Let me tell you. So tomorrow I'll probably post the one about the war, about the Brazilian participation on World War II. We might also be able to watch this week a video about Ayrton Senna. I think it's a lot of work for the same week because, as I was saying at the beginning of the video about the war demands too much because I need to find the special footage for me to put there, and Ayrton Senna, also a lot of things, but I'll try because I have this video. I told you about Brasilia. I have one about the capital. If you guys have already watched the one that showed Rio de Janeiro as the capital, we have the continuation of this video showing Brasilia and why Brasilia became the city, the chosen place for us to have our capital. So it's very interesting, I'm gonna say, especially if you guys like historical videos, right? Yeah, the other headline also um, about Pope Francis, right? Have you guys, do you guys celebrate the Easter in your country? Let me know. Here in Brazil, it's very common, and people exchange chocolate eggs and stuff. And every year is the same thing. People compare the chocolate bar with the chocolate eggs, and they say, "Come on, this is just ridiculous. The bar has more chocolate, and it's less expensive than the egg." And the guy said, "No, but the egg is a special celebration." So I don't eat chocolate anymore. I'm not in this fuzz that I used to be whenever we got to this period of time. In the past, I loved the chocolate, and I remember buying 2, 3 big chocolate eggs during this period. Manu, I think because she sees me avoiding chocolate very much, she doesn't eat chocolate. That's interesting. I said, "You are the first child I know who doesn't like chocolate." And don't even have to worry about buying chocolate in the house because my wife wants to watch what she eats. Manuela doesn't care about chocolate. So if the industry depended upon my family, they would be poor. Loved your video about Silvio Santos. Very emotional in Brazilian idioms. Very interesting. Thank you very much, Baldini. Oh, Baldini, I have seen your comments there. Thank you so much. You have no idea how happy I get with these interactions that you guys have. You know, these participations. I have a very loyal people to the channel. They go, they comment, they click on like, they spread the content. So thank you very much. About Silvio Santos, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I liked him very much, and I held back my tears as much as I could. And there was a part, especially the part that I said that it's hard for us to know that he won't be there anymore. That I had to stop the recording because I got really emotional. Um, and it's funny because as I was growing up, because these guys were always on TV, so as I was growing up, you enter that phase of teenage years that you start questioning everything, and then I remember saying, "Oh my God, I can't take these guys anymore." Like Silvio Santos is still on TV, the guy from the other channel, because he was starting to become boring. But then you become an adult and you look back and you have a different point of view, right? Because you see Baldini that, oh, he was very important, a very important phase of my life. So I remember there was no internet here at the time, right? It was not computers in every house, you know, in the 80s. It didn't happen. So he was the entertainment for us at night. And something he was famous for is that his shows had those, do you know those pranks with hidden cameras and stuff? Oh my God, we just loved them. They were very creative, very realistic. When they were for real, right? Because after some time, the competitors started copying the formula. No, I'm talking about Silvio Santos. But there was a time, Baldini, that the biggest name is started to get on our nerves, right? At least mine, I would say, which was Faustão, Silvio Santos, Gugu Liberato, that I mentioned in this video because they were from the same channel, Gugu and Silvio Santos. Gugu was an employee, right, for Silvio Santos. And then Faustão, it was the competition, Globo. And then we had Hebe Camargo, that I also mentioned in this video. You had Raul Gil, that I also mentioned. So these guys, you grow up watching the same guys, the same time, the same kind of format. But Silvio Santos was very different. He was always trying to innovate, always trying to bring the best. If you saw that video with him falling into the water, come on, man. The guy is the owner of the channel. Look at what he does, because it was legit. He was having fun. So it was a bittersweet video for me to produce, I guess. And I thought I would feel the same with Ayrton Senna, because when Ayrton Senna died, I was just 13 years old. I was about to turn 14. So it was very hard for me. Every time we turned on the television, we would see his morning service, even the parade with his with his casket, because he was on top of a fire truck, and the whole city of São Paulo stopped. I would say the whole country stopped. It was very sad. So, but I think it's because it's been 31 years since his passing. So we kind of create protection against it. Silvio Santos is more recent. I think that's why it touched me deeper, Ayrton Senna, I've known about his death for 31 years, so I think you have this, you're conformed about the situation, right? But it doesn't mean it was not special, right? So I have produced a very long video about Ayrton Senna, and I intend to be releasing very soon. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but I have to do the best for you guys to enjoy, okay? Do not forget to smash the like button, guys, please. Don't forget that. It's very important that you guys interact with the content of the channel, okay? Garvar is here. How are you, my friend? My friend from Norway. YouTube is amazing, man. I tell people here in my family, man, I'm watched in Norway, in the Netherlands, And people look at me, really? Tokyo, Japan. Yes, I have received the messages from Tokyo, Japan, from the Netherlands, many messages. Even Iceland, I have received a message. What else? It's the advantage of speaking English, right? When you produce content in English, the world is the limit, right? So Garvar is from Norway, so it's amazing that he's talking to us here, you know. Easter vacation from Wednesday to today. Back to work tomorrow, and yes, we have Easter eggs and decorating. Yeah, I believe it's basically the same thing everywhere, right, Garvar? I ask you guys if it's the same. Saving some exceptions, maybe Asian countries, maybe Japan. Because I follow a Brazilian YouTuber, a young girl, who lives in Japan. And so she says that the Japanese people have no idea. They have no idea what the Easter, no, but the Christmas is all about. According to her, they have no idea who Jesus was. I don't know if that's possible, but that's what she says in her video. So in general, I think it's basically the same. I saw today part of a video that Trump was by the side of a bunny. So you can see bunny is the symbol of the Easter, right? So yeah, everybody might have access to the same traditions, you know. But how are the prices in Norway, man? In terms of your money, in terms of what you guys normally make? Because the Easter eggs here are incredible. Sometimes I say, guys, that living in Brazil and like making reais and living in Brazil, spending in reais is it's not for the faint of heart. It's for the bold and the brave and the bold, I would say. Because living in Brazil and surviving here, making ends meet, it means that you are rich, man. Especially in São Paulo, at least for real terms. I know that if I make a video that I intend to, and I show you guys how much it costs for you to live in São Paulo, and you compare to the major metropolis, because of the currency that real is kind of undervalued nowadays, losing its value. So you're gonna say, São Paulo is cheap, man. Oh, it is much cheaper than living in the US, especially if you convert dollars. If you come here with your dollar, you have almost a six times firepower compared to me making reais. So I make reais, I buy reais. So you guys make dollars, buy reais. Oh, it's paradise for you. The people who travel here know what I'm talking about. And I've already mentioned this before, right? Picking up an Uber, spending your credit card is just fantastic. And don't even get me started on credit cards. I think I need to make a video about this. Yeah, I'm gonna call you Hillbilly, okay? Because it's the last name there. So Hillbilly, it's basically up and down, man. Up and down. But ever since he reached the threshold of $5 or $5, $1, it hasn't gone down yet. It hasn't. I don't remember what it is to see the dollar now at $4 it's just the 5 up. And it got to 6 up, but then there was an intervention from the government and it came down a few cents, I guess, maybe 10 or 20 cents, 5.80, and then $6 again. We reached, I think, 6.30. I think that was the maximum, 6.25, which is just incredible for you guys, you know, or for YouTubers, right? Because YouTubers also make money in dollars. So for YouTubers who are monetized and who have a good public, many views, it's paradise. But at the same time, you go to the market and the prices are going up because when the dollar is up, there are some things that are imported, so things are gonna go up as well. So it's kind of a balance, you know. Yeah, sometimes it's good because you're making more money, but you're spending more. Or sometimes it goes down, you're making less money, but you know you're paying less. So it's basically a balance. But you know, nowadays traveling abroad is just crazy. Just the people with money or very good preparation, financial preparation, will be able to travel abroad. Can you imagine? In the past, we used to hear about, oh, 10 grand, 10, I'm talking about reais, okay? 10 grand for you to spend, I don't know, 10 days, 12 days abroad in the United States, in Europe. Nowadays, they're talking about 20,000 per person or close to that. Can you imagine? 25,000 a couple. It's just a lot of money, you know? Just a lot of money. And I was mentioning the credit card. The the interest rates in the credit cards are just crazy. They're 200% per year, something like this, 235%. Wow, it's yes, I'm not lying. I'm gonna show you. Um, yes, take a look. The AI from Google, okay? In Brazil, the interest rate for the credit card is very, very high. And it could surpass 300% a year. In September 2024, the average rate for the citizens was 438.4% a year. I'm going to repeat, 438.4% a year, right? So it's if you make a mistake with your credit card, you're doomed. For me, it's like playing the Russian roulette. You know, you put a bullet and basically sooner or later, if you keep venturing with your credit card, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. It has happened to me before. It's just crazy. It's just too high. That's insane. I agree, man. That's insane. Um, I try to understand the Brazilian banking system, and why some people invest here, the foreigners, because the interest rates are high here, so you end up getting a bigger return. Capital One just purchased Discover card. Interesting. So basically, the Brazilian banking system is very solid. I have said that before, especially for investors who contact me, because they want to say, "Hey, why is it not easy to open a banking account in Brazil?" I remember I made a video to teach you guys how to open an account. For a while, a lot of people were able to follow the instructions of the channel and open their own online Brazilian account. The problem is, I think Itaú started barring a lot of new clients from abroad, you know? And suddenly that video became redundant. And people keep asking me, hey, why can I not go to a branch of a bank and open an account there? It's not that simple. They want to find some connections with the country, so that in case you don't pay, they will charge you. So imagine charging you guys in New York or in Senegal, or you guys in Norway. Imagine. So that's why they protect themselves very much, you know. So credit in Brazil is very expensive nowadays. You won't find the banks making loans that easily. You really need to prove things before you get money. Especially the fintechs. Nowadays, we have a trend of banks that are fintechs. They just operate online. They don't have branches. And they are really popular. They are open capital and everything, stock exchange, like a Nubank, for example. But if you try to get a loan, you will see that there are only very few conditions where you can get a loan. And normally those conditions are connected to government payments. For example, we have something in Brazil called FGTS, which is Fundo de Garantia por Tempo de Serviço. It's like a guarantee fund they create that the company is demanded to deposit every month in case something happens to you. So you have that reserve. So the government creates that for you, differently from the United States, that you guys do that yourselves. So for these fintechs to loan you money, they will do that only in the condition that you connect this loan to your FGTS. So in case you don't pay, they can get from the government on your behalf. So it's not that easy to get a credit in Brazil nowadays. Continuou no chove e não molha. What does this mean in relation to loves? Has somebody told you this? Ficar no chove e não molha, it means that it's raining and the floor is not getting wet, or nowhere is getting wet. That's a very interesting expression. Thanks for bringing. So it's raining a lot, but it's not getting wet. So the idea of você tá no chove e não molha, you are beating around the bush. That's what you're doing. You're beating around the bush. You're not going straight to the point. You're just stalling. Okay? If this is not a relationship, maybe the other person expects you to take the lead and do something, or take the relationship more seriously, or propose. Who knows, right? Basically, this is the idea. Oh, so Hillbilly, you have a CPF? Yeah, that's the point, man. So look, some people, and it's thank you very much for you guys to be saying this, because I can clear up a few things. When I made videos about the CPF, people thought that only with the CPF you guys would be able to do anything in the country, like to open a banking account, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But it doesn't work like that. Okay, the CPF is just a fiscal number that gives you the permission to invest in Brazil. When you make an investment in Brazil, and you're gonna sign a contract, so your CPF has to be clear, because it's a tax document. Oh, teacher, do I have to pay tax? If this is your first sell and your first purchase, you don't pay any tax. Starting by the second purchase, you do. If you guys want, I can bring you more information about this. I'm not a lawyer. I know a little about these things, but I can research and bring you this information. Not only on the second, when you have profit on the second sell, you will have to pay tax. But your document needs to be in the transaction anyways. That's basically all. You're not going to have any other rights, or you won't be able to open a banking account, because they want you to be a resident in the country. Thus, the RNE that Hillbilly is speaking about. The RNE, which is Registro Nacional do Estrangeiro. So the national registration for the foreigner, or the foreigner national registration. It's like a green card, basically. Okay, you have the permission to live here. You can stay here and work and find your job and rent a place. So if you don't have strings attached to the country, the bank is not gonna trust you, because maybe you're gonna use their credit card, you're gonna use their loans, their money, and disappear. right? And still speaking about that girl I told you at the beginning, the girl that lives in Tokyo, Japan. Not at the beginning, a few minutes ago. She was saying that it's very hard for foreigners to rent a property in Tokyo, Japan. Why? Because some people just disappear. They are renting the property, and in the middle of the night, they sneak away. They pack, get their bags, go to the airport, disappear. And the guy is left hanging, right? So no payments, the house is abandoned, sometimes destroyed, and the foreigners disappear. So I think this is the mentality here in Brazil. They want you to have a connection with the country, to live here, for them to be able to allow you to open a banking account and use inside, right? The video that I made about the Itaú was basically a hack, right? Nothing illegal, but it was like, okay, I have an account that belongs to Brazil, and I can make a Pix. I can transfer through Pix. So my friends from the United States use them a lot because they were able to open at the beginning when I made the video. And there is another bank that you guys can try, which is Banco Inter. I'm going to write here with my other account. Look, because I have another friend from the US, from Florida, who was able to open a banking account in this bank. It's an orange logo. Let me see if I can show you guys. You might be able to access their banking account system and open it and even transfer money to Brazil. Who knows? I'm still studying that to make a video. I needed more tests, but I have heard, especially from friends, that it was working well. Let me show you the logo for you guys to see. Even if I go to São Paulo, Google doesn't let me download the Metro app. This is crazy, no, Hillbilly. I have to use cash because they bind Android to USA unless you change it to Brazil. I cannot change. Yeah, there are a little things that really piss me off, man. Especially about São Paulo, which is supposedly the most advanced city in this country. They forget we have borders. They forget there are people abroad. They simply forget. I think the authorities, the government, or the tourism office, they forget. They didn't. In the past, we had a card. Anybody could go and buy a card and put credits and use the card as many times. Sometimes you bought a card for the week and you would use the subway the whole week. According to the last governor he had, they discovered some fraud with those cards, and they decided to extinguish, to eliminate, to disappear with those cards. Those cards for even tourists could buy. Nowadays, for you to buy a ticket, you can either go to the how do you call that, the tolls, I forgot, and you can buy the ticket in cash, or if you try the app, you need to use your CPF. But even with the CPF, you put the CPF and they will ask you for a card, and sometimes they won't recognize your card. So it's just crazy. They don't make things easy for people to really travel in Brazil. When I went to Santiago, Chile, I had no problem. I went to a booth there and I bought a card and I could use all the time. So this is something that pisses me off. Look, guys, this is the app. I ended up clicking here, sorry. This is a fintech that is being growing very much. I'm a client here. But one of my friends said he was able to open a Banco Inter account from New York. There you go. This is the app. Okay? Banco Inter. Try to find it and try to follow or If you have a problem with the app, try through their website. Type bancointer.com, I believe, and you try through the website. You might be more successful than through the app. At least to open, to register your name there. Yeah, Hillbilly, that's crazy, let me read the other one. Okay, I have to carry cash, and if it's late, the ticket booth closes. Yes, this is just crazy, man, and I think I will make a video to really show that, because these are some bottlenecks that the our system has, right? And turtlenecks, I think, right? I don't know if I said that correct. That the system here has, that doesn't make it easy for you guys to enjoy your trip and concentrate on what really matters. Now you have to be figuring out the subway system. That's just crazy. I have written messages for the guys. They haven't replied yet. They haven't changed anything. Let's see if when we change the governor, because this governor is really good, but he's more focused on infrastructure. He's investing a lot of his time and his energy to produce more, and I'm not criticizing, I think it's very important, to produce new subway lines, to produce new accesses to roads and highways in general and avenues. But the tourists bottleneck, thank you. So I said right at the first time. So the tourists suffer a lot when they want to enjoy the city and the country. Maybe Rio might be different. I've heard you. Actually, I have seen, because I was in Rio and I saw people just tapping their credit cards to the turnstiles and they open. Boop. So they have this system. Here in São Paulo, we don't have that yet. You have to either buy the ticket or use the app. But if you are from abroad, again, doesn't work. I'm going to have two friends from the United States in June or July here. They come here, it's Jonathan and Neil. You have seen them here on the channel if you follow. They come here and stay 6 months a year. So they're coming for their semester in June or July. And I'm going to take them for a ride. I'm going to try to implement these things, try to see if we find a way around these barriers, because it sucks, You can't use the subway, right? That's why many people use the Uber, right? Hillbilly. Maybe you did this a lot. When you were here, it's cheaper. It's safer as well. I'm not saying the subway is not safe. I'm just saying you're going to go inside the car, get out of the car in the right place where you want it to be. You don't have to walk. It's just as simple, right? But I will try to find a way to help you guys come here and use the same systems that we do, because that's a shame, Do you guys have any other questions? It's 7 o'clock already. We are reaching 1 hour of our regular live stream. Remember to be here if you can at 6 o'clock. Sometimes I will expand a little bit more. I might do that today if you guys are interested, of course. If you have questions, if you have more things to talk about. But normally it finishes at 7, especially on Friday. So keep an eye. The live streams start at 6 and they go up until 7. Okay? And all the other things that I always ask you guys, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and please contribute with the channel by becoming a member if you guys want to support us, or going to Patreon. We also have a profile there, choosing one of the categories, or even watching the content and leaving a comment and smashing the like button. It goes a long way anyways, okay? Let's see what else we can see happening here. Yeah, basically a lot of Pope Francis. Soccer. I think Brazil gets back to normal. Uh, Starting by tomorrow, right? Because everybody's back to work. You know, globalization gives us some different perspectives because I'm usually accustomed to seeing the traffic so heavy on the highways of Brazil during these periods of holiday. And the reporter saying, oh, today's the return. People are coming back to the city. So we're talking about 2 million vehicles going up the coast back to São Paulo. And I'm also teaching Spanish. And to keep my Spanish perfect, I've been watching a lot of Spain television, RTVE, RTVE, TVE, 24 hours directo. And they were mentioning the same things because it's Easter there as well. So people leaving the town or the city in numbers coming back. So it's very interesting to see that somehow we live very much alike, right? Uber is simple, but I like to explore São Paulo. Your subway is world class. Thank you, Hillbilly. Where are you from, man? Let us know, please. Very important. Find it's better than Boston. Oh, okay. You just said it. Boston, right? And in Boston, the subway is $2.4. Okay. $2.4 an hour real. Wow, it's $1 for you, no? So real $2. So nowadays I think it's 5.20 the fare, the subway fare. 5.2. 5.2. 90 cents, right, Hillbilly? That's what you pay when you come. Oh, New Hampshire, USA. Very nice, man. Very nice to see you guys here. Thank you. Uh, you are paying, Hillbilly, when you come to São Paulo, you're paying 90 cents for the fare, man. Isn't that fantastic? Converting the money, right? Because it's 5.20 for us. For you, it's just 90 cents of a dollar. It's just incredible. I agree with you. It smells good. I normally say you won't find a day, it's very hard to happen, that you go inside. Yeah, I think it's 5.20, 5.25. I don't remember. Maybe 5.25. Quanto custa? I haven't been taking the subway a lot lately because my daughter is going to school pretty close to my house now. Thank God. No, it's 5.20. It's not 5.25. It's 5.20. So you're paying 90 cents of a dollar, Hillbilly. Yes. Yeah, okay. The other conversion I wouldn't do, right? 2.4 would be $14. Yeah. For a traveler from Brazil going to the US, that's what he would be paying. But for you guys making your salary the way, or your wages the way you do, paying 2.4 is very cheap. That's what I like about the US. I think things are very reasonable in terms of prices. Of course, you guys are going through inflation. I know everything, especially after the pandemic. But in general, that's something I have raised here in a live stream. How long will you have to work for you to buy I don't know, let's say a couch, a good couch? Oh, it costs I don't know, maybe 10% of my salary, 20%. I don't know, I'm just guessing here. But in Brazil, everything's so expensive for Brazilians, for the average citizen. That's what I'm talking about. If you make a lot of money, good. Because people say, look, if you make more than 10,000 in Brazil, you are part of a percentage of people that are, lucky, right? Because the average will be making 2,000, a minimum salary, a minimum wage, which in Brazil is 1.5 thousand reais. So imagine you make 1.5 thousand, you want to buy a cell phone that costs 800. And where do you live? And where is the rent that you pay? Yeah, it's just sad story. It was nice at 5, so you could give 10 reais for 2 tickets. Yeah, exactly. But I guess, Hillbilly, that the price stayed like that, 5 reais for a long time. I think they held the price for 5 years, 4 years or something. So they really held it. Like they changed the government, and this new governor decided to adjust because everything goes up, right? The maintenance and the costs. I don't know exactly the calculation that they make, but it took a while for the price to go up, you know. So that means we have inflation as well, of course. Uh, and by the way, how much is the inflation in Brazil right now? Inflação para abril. Let me put last month, March. Uh, Inflation goes down or slows down and closes March in 0.56%. That's not so much. Have you guys watched that video that I tell the story of real, of our currency? Because if you see, you will understand what we have gone through before, how things were crazy in the past. Thank God Fernando Henrique Cardoso existed. He still exists, thank God. He's 92 now. He was a genius, fantastic guy. And he and his economics team changed the scenario in Brazil. It was fantastic. Watch this video if you haven't. Bring my money to help the Brazilian economy. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. So I can see that the visa thing is not a problem for you, and I'm very glad because some Americans have given up, you know. Oh, you understand a lot about the subway here. I'm very happy. The pink and the light blue. Wow, which one is the pink line? You know more than me, Hillbilly. Linha Rosa. Linha Rosa do metrô de São Paulo. Oh, wow. Santo André e São Bernardo do Campo. Linha Rosa is not really subway, it's train. Like the thing is, the trains and the subways are connected here, right? We have CPTM, this is the acronym, Companhia Paulista de Transportes Metroviários, something like this. So CPTM, they are trains, but they are interconnected with the lines of the subway. So, oh, it's gonna be big, man. I hadn't seen that. Thank you very much. Lapa, Vila Romana, Pedroso de Moraes, JK, wow, Jardim Europa, very fancy locations. Água Funda, fantastic. And also the monorails, the gold line is about to be ended. I think it's gonna be wrapped up. The construction will be wrapped up in December, next December, which is fantastic. It took forever. It was supposed to have been to be released, or to have been released back in 2014. for the World Cup that we had in Brazil of soccer. But, we had a lot of delays and it's going to come out now. And the trains are amazing. They look like a bullet train on a monorail above, like you guys see in Chicago, right? You see the trains going up. Fantastic. That's the idea. Among the buildings. Just like in that Spider-Man movie, Fantastic. 0.56 is lower than the United States. Yeah, man. Inflation nowadays, it's a question of life or death in this country. Nobody wants to face the dragon we did face for many years. Watch this video if you haven't. US headline inflation rate was 2.5 and core inflation was 2.8. Yeah. Okay, but you're talking about the month here because the number that I gave you was for March. I think it was clear, right? Right before the visa changed, I need to apply for the 10-year. That's good. And I also have made videos to say the process is pretty easy. Some people complain because I said 24 hours because I have received messages from many Americans that wrote to me and said, oh, it took me 24 hours. Even a very good friend of mine, Jason, that I had an interview with. But some people said it took me 5 days. But anyways, guys, it's going to be fast, Linha 19 é linha 20. The pink one is linha 20. The light blue is probably the one that goes to my hometown, which is Guarulhos. Linha 20. Não, linha azul. I think it's azul turquesa. I think it's azul turquesa, yes. That's the one that goes to Guarulhos, I think. No, it's not the one. Linha do metrô de Guarulhos. They already have money waiting to start this project. The state of São Paulo has a lot of money, you know that. So all the billions are being used. I think there was a time period last year that we had 3 big machines, we call tatuzão, or big armadillos, excavating tunnels in 3 different directions of São Paulo. I love this city, man. Really. There was one in Penha, another one in another location, so 2 or 3 simultaneously, And the governor was speaking about the cost of the kilometer or the meter for you to excavate. Azul Celeste, which would be what? Light blue, maybe. It's the one to go to Guarulhos. Yeah, that's why I agree with you. We need them, so that's why the fare goes up. The quality of the services as well, right? Yeah, this one that is gonna reach Guarulhos, not necessarily the airport, okay, guys? Because we already have a train line that goes to the airport. But this one, you will get to the downtown area of Guarulhos. So we have from Anhangabaú, the downtown of São Paulo, all the way to Bosque Maia, which is a central area in my hometown, Guarulhos. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stations in the city, 5 subway stations. So even for the residents, it's gonna be easy. Like you are in Bosque Maia and you wanna go to Vila Augusta, get on the subway. Fantastic. I just hope this comes out fast. Let's see. And they don't do like they did with the other. Jardim Paulista em BB. I need to get this passport photo. Okay. But this passport photo is not taken on your cell phone. Geneviero Carso. BRIC Summit will be on the 6th of July. Yeah, so I've heard, man. That's cool. The BRIC Summit. I don't know if you guys know, a former president of ours, Dilma Rousseff, the first woman to be the president, is the BRICS Bank president. I think she's on her second mandate now. She was approved for, I think every year, it's a rotation, right? Every year, one of the members of the BRICS will nominate someone to become the president of the BRICS Bank, where they have been investing, depositing lots of money to have a fund. Yeah. The last stop is Secap. No, I don't know. I hope so. The last stop here, Hillbilly, it says it goes to Bosque Maya. But it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense to dig a tunnel and not reach Secapi, right? Because it would be an option for the people coming from the airport. You could go straight to a subway line, or you can take the train line that is today and go all the way to Brás. Or nowadays, the train line gets to Luz, which is the blue line, the main line of the city, north to south. So from the airport, you can go straight to Luz nowadays. So with this light blue line, it's going to be a very good option. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it is going to go to Guarulhos, Hillbilly. It is going because the governor has already mentioned, it has already been approved because they open studies, they start uh, making plans, and then they go to the action, obviously. So I've already heard of locations in Guarulhos where the houses are being already taken by the government. Not taken, it's not the right word I want to say. The government buys the property from these people, right? And if they don't want to sell, they go to justice because they say it is for the common well, or the welfare, I don't know, common welfare. So they are forced to sell. So many properties have already been negotiated where this line is gonna go. So it's a question of time now. They haven't started digging the tunnel yet, but it's a question of time. It's gonna happen anyway, sooner or later. Uh, I like the fact that apparently the government of São Paulo woke up because we always compare to Mexico City. Mexico City spended like 10 times more than we did, man. It was a shame. And now the government is really investing. It has been investing for the past 15 years in building more lines, in creating more alternatives because they see, especially now with the number of towers being put up in the city, the place is gonna go crazy. You need options of transportation. And we have always said this, a developed and rich city or country is a place where the rich take public transportation, not where the poor use cars. It's a place where the rich will take public transportation. And of course, I'm not talking about the fact that the guys want to save the time. Okay, if they are free and on vacation or they don't have much to do, they can take the subway. This is an advanced city, according to this person that I heard one day. I agree. I think we need to have more options for all classes of the society to be there. A very uh, a high quality train system, subway system for everybody to use, basically. Yeah, you are definitely reaching São Paulo. So you should buy a property, invest in São Paulo. If you want to do that, remember the channel also works with one of the major developers in Brazil. I'm always selling my fish. It's very important. I need to survive, right? My bills are coming every day. So if you want to buy an apartment, there are some great projects coming out this month of April and May, close to Paulista Avenue, one block away, my friend. So send me a direct message on Instagram if you think it's your time to invest in Brazil. Who knows? And I don't know if you guys are aware, if you invest R$ 1 million, which is virtually 200,000, 180,000 USD, you can get the residence in Brazil. Okay? No problem. Whenever you feel that you're ready, I'm here. Okay? Guys, I think it's time for us to call it a night. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hillbilly. Thank you, Geneviero, and all of you guys who have been here. Travel Tales. Oh man, I'm very sorry to hear that. Hope you get back on your feet very fast. Baldini, thank you so much. Garvar, thank you for our conversation here. Just reminding you guys, may God allow tomorrow we have a new video. If not, Wednesday. Also, remember to subscribe to the Brazilian Portuguese channel. You help me a lot, okay? I'll be here also Friday at 6 p.m. for us to be talking about Brazil and sharing info. Thank you very much.